Hi everyone, it's Diana Palm, the Love Witch, and today I want to talk to you about a couple afterlife signs that I recently received. I always love to educate you guys about afterlife signs and having afterlife awareness because it's one of the most profound ways that you can heal your grief and truly embrace living after you've lost loved ones. Just like everybody, when I heard my father passed, you kind of go into emotional shock. It's that knowledge that this has happened and occurred. I had already begun to feel the release. I felt the releasing of his energy from the physical. I felt the relief come over his body in a way that I wasn't feeling the empathic or physical effect of him being sick or being scared or going through any of the emotional things that he was experiencing as he was in the hospital and getting ready to pass. I physically and emotionally and spiritually felt relief and release. I allowed myself some time in bed to just reflect on all the special memories. Of course, I cried. I took naps. I wanted to give my body time to catch up with what had happened and just to ease my emotions and do some extra nurturing for myself. The following day when I woke up, I was sent a dream visit and it was so beautiful. My dad was actually showing me some childhood memories that I had forgotten, and they were really sweet, fond memories about sitting on his lap, driving his big Ford truck through the desert on Roller Coaster Road, and things that were really significant and meaningful to me as a child. I woke up with a big smile on my face and my entire room was filled with light. It was the most peaceful, beautiful feeling. And I knew that he was showing me that he was already in the light. He was already in heaven. So of course, as a medium, I tuned in with him just to be sure. And of course, yes, he was. He crossed over immediately. About 4 days later, a girlfriend called because she had heard about my dad passing and wanted to check in on me. We hadn't talked in quite a while. So for the first 20 minutes or so, we were just catching up and getting reacquainted and refamiliarized with what's been going on in our lives. And then we began to talk specifically about my father passing and how I was handling things and moving through that healing process. It was at that time, about 20 minutes into the conversation, and specifically when we were talking about my dad, that I got an afterlife sign. My iPhone case is a Lumi Selfie light, which means that you can turn it on to have a light in the front or light in the back for taking selfies in the dark, or if the light's not really great and you want to pop out and do a video, that you can turn those lights on to help illuminate your face and make your videos better or brighter. So I've had that on my phone for quite a while. But on this day, I had taken it off my phone and set it in the living room. And I was on the phone all the way across in the other corner of the house talking to my friend about my father's passing when I looked up and saw my Lumi selfie light blinking on and off by itself. I literally told her, oh my God, hold on a minute. Something's happening. I waited and watched. It did it one or two more times after that, several blinking lights. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. My dad's here. And it was extra special because I was with her around the time that her father passed and helped her move through some of the grief processes. So it was really special to have her connected with me when my dad was coming around to have his presence known. Right after that phone conversation, my daughter and I decided to get outside. We're like, this is the best way to move our emotions and cleanse ourselves. So we decided to go out in the desert and do a hike. Just as we opened the door to leave, we looked down at our welcome mat and there's this sprig of cedar that had fallen off the wall, but somehow was placed perfectly as if it was decorated to be there right on our welcome mat. And I wanted to read this to you because this is actually what cedar means. Cedar is all about a spiritual quest. To the Native Americans, cedar is one of the most sacred ceremonial herbs. It means spiritual strength, divine protection. It's a very, very powerful medicine that literally means evergreen life or eternal life. Cedar is associated with prayer, healing, dreams, protection against disease, wisdom, generosity, and it reminds us to reconnect with nature as a spiritual experience. This is why many people use cedar for clearing and blessing a sacred space. I would love to know what kind of afterlife signs you've been getting from your loved ones and how significant they are for you in terms of your own healing and finding peace with your loss. Please put those down in the comments below. If you'd like to know more about the afterlife, be sure you go to my website or check out the books I have on Amazon. I do spiritual healing for grief and helping people rebuild their emotional lives so that they can move forward after loss. If you're interested in that, be sure you go to my website at www.dianapalm.com. I also have a link on there to Amazon, so if you're interested in books about the afterlife, what signs and symbols to look for, or to answer any of your questions about how we move through the death process, learning about death doors, or who's with us when we pass, be sure you check out my books on Amazon. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like down below, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.